within, they hold me tight. In the dark, I lose my fight.
Chapter 20, Last Goodbye. A loud sound, like the echo of a beautiful soul departing, sometimes leaves only silence in its wake. But sometimes a beautiful soul makes a loud sound and refuses to be silenced. David screamed in frustration. He sat on the edge of the bed, staring down at the open drawer before him. The gun was right there, loaded, cold, ready. The thought of how easy it would be slipped through him like a whisper. One action, one choice, and everything could stop. But deep down he knew that was never going to be his choice. His time would come when it was ready for him. He didn't want that control. He didn't need it. He didn't crave an ending. He craved a life he didn't have to explain. The fantasy running through his head belonged in stories, the kind too sappy for him, full of tragic endings and broken heroes. David never wanted to be remembered for weakness. If people remembered him at all, he wanted it to be for his strength, for standing back up when the world had knocked him down. He closed the drawer with a shaky breath. "Sometimes," he whispered, "you just have to move on." The words didn't fix everything. He still felt broken, humiliated, worn thin. But through the cracks of his pain, something else bled in. Freedom. A strange, unfamiliar lightness. For the first time in a long time, he wasn't just Carla's husband. No more silent treatments. No more hidden phones. No more games with rocks thrown just to provoke him. Anyone could fall into a trap someone else set. But the best revenge wasn't anger. The best revenge was rising. And David, at last, was rising. That week, he wandered online like he often did. Facebook, comment threads, digital drifting to match the way he walked the house when his head got too loud. And then, Mia. At first, just a comment reply, a laugh, a question answered, then another thread, then messages. It flowed naturally, almost too easily. Within days, the chats deepened. What started as small talk became real talk. They shared frustrations, memories, pieces of themselves they hadn't told anyone in years. Within a week, messages had turned to video chats. And it felt natural, like an old friend he'd only just rediscovered. Neither pushed for more. Both said it out loud. They weren't ready for romance. This wasn't about filling a void with something new. It was about having someone safe, someone who saw them, listened, understood. That was enough, more than enough. For David, it brought life back into forgotten corners. He caught himself smiling down at his phone. Not forced, not polite, a real smile, the kind that made him feel younger, lighter. His house began to feel different, too. He still hated the mess Carla left behind, the stains, the scratches, the clutter she dumped on him. But he didn't hate the animals. Not the cat, not the dogs. It wasn't their fault, it was hers. And for the first time, he believed he could make the house his again. Quiet. Clean. A reflection of him, not her chaos. He found himself moving again, exercising, taking care of himself. Even at work, he carried more purpose. Life felt less like a burden, more like a possibility. And then came the idea. A trip, nothing big, just a few days near the sea, breathing space, freedom, a way to step outside the mess and remember what living felt like. He pictured it in detail, sleeping in a tent near the shore, the sand cool under his feet, mornings spent walking the beaches, nights falling asleep to the steady rhythm of waves. When he told Mia, her eyes lit up on the screen. "That sounds perfect. I could use that too, just the ocean, the quiet. No alarms, no pressure." David chuckled. "I've been dreaming about falling asleep to the waves, just that sound, nothing else." "And waking up to them," Mia added softly. "Like the world's reminder that you're still alive." For a moment, neither said anything, both caught in the thought. And then she smiled. "I'd love to go. Really." For the first time in years, David had something to look forward to. That night, their video chat carried into laughter. His face hurt from smiling. He hadn't smiled like that in ages. When the call ended, he lingered on the screen, thumb brushing over the last line Mia had sent. He kept thinking about the trip, sea air, quiet days, a place where he could finally breathe. Just the thought of it felt like a kind of healing. Then came a noise, a crash, boxes tumbling in the other room. He sighed, brushing his fingers through his hair. Probably the cat again, climbing over the stacks Carla had left behind. It wasn't the animal's fault. It was the mess, the chaos she abandoned with him. He stood, phone still in his hand, ready to check on it. But his mind lingered on the trip, on the tent, the beaches, the waves. For one more second, he let himself stay there. He didn't notice the door creaking open behind him, didn't see the shadow, didn't sense the shift in the air. Not until it was too late. A cloth pressed hard over his face from behind, sharp, sudden, suffocating. At first, his instincts whispered it was one of his kids pulling a prank. But then the chemical smell hit him. His vision blurred, his muscles buckled, arms flailed but weak, uncoordinated. The grip behind him was strong, too strong. The rag sealed against his mouth and nose. Every breath made him heavier. Terror bloomed. His last thought was for his kids, home, within earshot. I basically left an end-of-life note in a story, he thought dizzily. God, I hope no one thinks I meant it. And then, darkness. The same crash that had pulled David from his thoughts made Charlie pause in the family room. A few boxes had toppled, settling in a heap against the wall. He clicked his tongue in irritation. Don't these people ever clean up? He muttered. Still, his eyes lingered on the space around him. He admired the addition, the way the family room flowed seamlessly into Carla's bedroom. A beautiful home, soon to be tarnished. The dogs had barked earlier, but that was nothing new. Dogs barked at everything, ghosts, squirrels, passing cars. No one paid attention anymore. Stealth was his favorite part of the game, and tonight the house played along. He eased the door open to Carla's room. No squeak, luck, or fate. David was already standing, phone in hand, still caught in the glow of the screen, smiling faintly, oblivious. Charlie crept closer, rags soaked and ready, the cloth sealed over David's face. The struggle barely lasted seconds. Charlie raised an eyebrow. That easy? For a man David's size, maybe he wanted to go, or maybe he was just that weak. He dragged David's limp weight over to the bed and propped him up against the headboard. The head lolled slightly, the body heavy but pliant, like a mannequin waiting to be posed. On the table nearby, Charlie's eyes caught the notebook. He flipped it open, scanning the last lines. Basically, an end-of-life note. It made things easier, cleaner. The note told the story well enough. David had given up. No one would question it. And it meant Charlie didn't have to bother with the children. More bodies only created more risk, more suspicion. One neat ending was all he needed. Charlie grinned, wide, wolfish, a grin that never touched his eyes. The grin of a man with no soul. You just made this too easy. Charlie knew exactly where the gun was. Carla had bragged about it more than once, how she kept it ready for an intruder, right there in the top drawer by the bed. She'd said it like it made her strong, untouchable. For Charlie, it made things simple. He slid the top drawer open, retrieved the weapon, and pressed it into David's lifeless hand. Fingers wouldn't hold it naturally, but Charlie closed them tight around the grip, guiding the arm into position. Almost perfect, he said under his breath, eyes narrowing as he tilted the weapon toward David's temple. Charlie wrapped his own hand over David's, squeezing hard. The trigger gave with a sharp, final crack that tore through the room. He turned his head at the blast, shoulders tightening, flinching from the sound. When he looked back, The gun sagged but remained in David's hand, exactly where he wanted it. Now the picture was complete. Charlie wanted to linger, to take it in, to savor the quiet perfection of what he'd made. He had trouble turning away from it, each step toward the exit heavier than it should have been. The satisfaction ran deep. David was gone, and in that absence, Carla was his more than ever. He crossed Carla's room to the door that opened onto the front yard. The hinges gave a faint groan as it moved, a sound sharper in the silence than he liked. Charlie froze, jaw tight, before easing it closed behind him. He picked up his pace across the yard, careful but quicker now, until the shadows of the neighborhood swallowed him. Only when distance lay between him and the house did he settle back into his unhurried rhythm, pulling a hood over his head as he cut through the dark. His vehicle waited down the street, parked in shadow. He slid into the driver's seat, turned the key, and let the engine hum low. In the rearview mirror, his eyes gleamed back at him. He tilted his head slightly, as though listening, then let a smile spread slowly and deliberate. "It's done," he whispered. A pause, almost as if he was waiting for a reply, then softer, "Just as we planned." The moonless night stretched ahead of him, and he drove into it, calm, steady, vanishing into the dark. Moments later, red and white lights streaked across the distant horizon. Sirens wailed past him, roaring toward the house he'd left behind. Charlie didn't even look back. His grin widened. More than the perfect staging, more than the clean escape, he savored the thought of what came next. Carla was fully his now. She would never be able to go back. That door had closed forever, a secret he held, one he could hint at and only disclose when he felt right. But for now, he had a cabin to prepare, a place where Carla would see exactly what he wanted her to see. Charlie laughed softly, the sound jagged and uneven, spilling out before he smothered it back down. He was in control, but the lunacy was there, bubbling just beneath, and he let himself taste it.
Every word you gave me felt like light through broken glass. I didn't need a lifetime, just the moments that we had. You stitched the wounds inside me with a voice I'll always hear. Though the night took you away, your soul still feels so near. You will live forever deep in my heart. Though the world stole you away, we'll never be apart. I still feel your presence like a shadow I can see. Though you're gone, somehow you're still standing next to me. I was learning how to breathe again. You taught me how to trust. Even in the silence, I believe in us. The sky holds all your echoes. They guide me through the dark. You are the flame still burning, the pulse inside my heart. You will live forever deep in my heart. Though the world stole you away, we'll never be apart. It couldn't dim the sky. I still feel the presence, like the whispering trees. You're gone forever. You'll be next to me.